Hello, beautiful. Welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here tuning in. I'm your girl, Natalie, with Inspire Life 365. If you're checking out this video, then you want to know the number one mistake that blocks abundance. And most importantly, you want to know how to fix it. So I don't know if you've been following me for a minute. I hope you have. If you haven't, definitely check out part one of the series. And the reason why is because we discovered the surprising truth that abundance is the natural state of the universe. But the question that I typically get asked is, how do I actually start aligning my life so that I can be in a state of attraction and abundant living? And so there's a common mistake that keeps most people trapped in cycles of scarcity and lack. But once you know how to spot it, everything changes. So in this video, we're going to be exploring the surprising power of telling you it's one simple abundance practice that most people overlook. And I can't wait to share that with you because that is going to help keep you in a state of flow and plenty. So whether you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, salon professional, a woman on a mission, someone looking to create more financial freedom, or someone who's simply tired, exhausted of feeling stuck and limited by a lack mindset, this video is definitely for you. The principles and strategies we're about to explore have the power to shift your entire reality if you're willing to put them into action. And I'm here to tell you that this that I'm about to share with you isn't that hard. So get ready to discover the number one abundance practice that most people overlook and how to start applying it today. You're also going to find out the simple shifts that create profound, lasting results in your financial reality. Let's jump in. And you know how I do. I like to give a little teaser before diving all the way into the information. The first key to aligning your actions with abundance is one that might surprise you. I'm going to give you about 3 seconds. Figure out what it is. Generosity. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How can giving away my resources? I already told you I have lack. I'm already struggling. How can giving away my resources, Natalie, help me create more abundance? Stay with me. Don't go away. The reason why is because I'm going to give you all the tea on this a little bit later and why generosity is so important. So let's dive in. If you remember in part one of this series, we actually explored the transformative truth that abundance is the natural state of the universe. If you believe in God, if you believe in the universe, divine intelligence, source, then you probably have a foundation that there is plenty, that there is no lack, that there's no lack around you. So we discovered in part one how small, consistent actions can actually unleash the power of exponential growth and how cultivating a mindset of plenty can magnetize incredible opportunities into your life. But here's the thing, as powerful as these insights are, they're only the beginning. To truly experience the reality of effortless abundance, we need to go beyond theory. We need to go beyond you reading a book and teaching and start aligning our actions with the flow of plenty. I love the Bible verse, faith without work is dead. And when I see the word work, I actually think of inspired action. So faith without inspired action is dead. So we have to start aligning our actions with the flow of plenty. And that's exactly what we're going to get into in this video. So I want to start by sharing a personal story that kind of gives you some color into the transformative power of the first abundance practice we'll be exploring today, which, like I said, is a practice that most people overlook, but has the potential to change everything. And again, that practice is generosity. So years ago, don't judge me, when I was just starting my journey towards effortless abundance. And honestly, it was probably before that, before I really understood abundance and manifestation principles and mindset. I was broke. I found myself in just like a place of deep financial struggle. And I just don't mean broke monetarily, just broke minded, like mindset in some ways. I won't say like my spirit was broken because I always believed, but I just was struggling. You ever felt that way? Like where you just felt like you just was scraping by. And it seemed like no matter how hard I worked or how much I saved, I couldn't get ahead. It was like two steps forward, one step forward, I would take two steps back for whatever reason. And I just got stuck in this constant cycle of lack and limitation. And for the life of me, I just couldn't understand why I couldn't move forward. Why was I staying stuck in the same place when I was working so hard? And it wasn't until I had a profound realization about the nature of abundance that everything began to shift. As a matter of fact, I can tell you a book that I ended up coming across by Catherine Ponder. It was Open the Doors to Prosperity, I believe is what it was. I can remember like it was clear as day. Read this book, and I realized that by clinging so tightly to my resources, I was actually blocking the flow of abundance in my life. So, like when you think about the title, Open the Doors to Prosperity, like you got to open the doors. You can't keep them closed. That's like blocking. So, I was coming from a place and operating from a place of fear and scarcity rather than trusting that there was more than enough and there was plenty out here for even me. So, what I did was I decided to try an experiment. Instead of hoarding my resources, holding on so tight that if I was holding on to you, you wouldn't be able to breathe. I began to give freely just from a place of authentic abundance. And there's a difference between giving and just expecting something in return and then giving from a place of authenticity. So, what I did was I made a list of different ways that I could give. And one of those ways was making small donations to causes I believed in. And this was even when my bank account was tight. So I didn't care if I donated $10. To me, it was authentic. I was operating from a place of plenty, and I was hoping that I was also blessing someone else's life. So I look for opportunities to share my time, my skills, and then even my energy with others without any type of expectation of reward. At first, like anything, it feels like I'm just out here giving, and it can feel counterintuitive. But then, and it didn't take long, something incredible just started to happen. The more I gave, the more I seemed to receive. And then unexpected opportunities began to flow into my life, like not in the way that I thought things would happen, but just in like amazing ways, opportunities from different places. And I'm gonna tell you another story because the financial struggle was so real. I remember being at the gas station at the QT, pulling up, not having any money in my bank account to get gas. And I just sat in my car at the gas station thinking, okay, God, like I know I'm operating from a place of abundance, believe that there's plenty. And I sat there and then something told me, get out of the car. I got out of the car and then something told me to open my back seat. Open my back seat. And I looked down like out of nowhere. I'm not joking. There was like a $5 bill. Was that a 5 or a 10? Can't remember. And this is when gas was much cheaper then. So it was a $5 bill, and I was able to put enough gas in my car to get my butt home. That's an example of what happened to me. Like out of nowhere, just opportunities or the resources showed up for me. So my financial situation just began to transform in so many ways. And they were in ways that I could have never have imagined. So here's the science, because I love to give you some scientific research behind everything. So as it turns out, this experience is backed by a wealth of scientific evidence. Studies have shown that generosity activates our brain's reward centers. It floods our system with feel good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. It also helps to shift our focus from a mindset of lack, of not having enough, to one of abundance. So it's priming us to attract more positive experiences and opportunities into our lives. But the benefits of generosity go even deeper than that. When we give, remember I was talking about earlier a place of authenticity? When we give from a place of authentic abundance, we send a powerful signal out that we trust in the flow of plenty, that there's more than enough. We demonstrate that we are willing to be a conduit for abundance rather than a bottleneck. So as a result, we end up opening ourselves up to receive in ways that might seem miraculous at first, but they're really just the natural consequence of aligning our actions with the energy of abundance that attracts. So, if you are operating from a place of generosity, guess what? You're attracting those type of people and those that energy into your life as well. So, you may be asking, how can you start incorporating the practice of generosity into your own life? You know that I am happy to share this with you because I don't want to just give you information that you know or that you've heard. I want to give you some things that you can actually do and try it out yourself and then come back and tell us if it actually worked. Tell the community what you did and how you did it and what the results were. So the first thing is start small and be consistent. You don't have to go all in and overwhelm yourself and take yourself out of the game before you even get started. Just start small. It's still progress. Tiny acts of generosity practiced regularly can have a profound impact over time. It's like habits, right? You're just building it's or compounding interest. It just builds and builds and builds. And over time, before you know it, you look up and you're like, man, my life has shifted. So the next thing you can do is give from a place of authentic abundance. We have a saying like, if you've ever been to church, don't give grudgingly nor out of necessity. So when you give, make sure it's authentic and make sure it doesn't feel like an obligation or that you're expecting something in return. The energy behind your giving matters just as much as the act itself. Remember, we're always sending out intentions. The third thing you can do is look for opportunities to share your unique gifts and resources with everyone, with the world. It could be your time, it could be your skills, or your financial abundance. There are always ways to give that align with your values and your passion. The fourth thing you can do is celebrate the abundance that flows back to you. No matter how small or unexpected it might seem at first, progress is still progress, no matter what. Gratitude is a powerful magnet for attracting more abundance into your life. So we got two G's, we got the old G's, get it? So we got two G's, we got generosity and we have gratitude. You really cannot go wrong with those two practices when it relates to abundance. When we commit to the practice of generosity, incredible things just start to happen. And you can take my word for it, but I really want you to experience. I've seen people go from struggling to make ends meet to experiencing extraordinary financial breakthroughs. I've experienced that personally myself. And it's all because we shifted our focus from getting, what am I going to get? When is my stuff going to show up? To giving. I've witnessed communities transformed by the power of collective generosity. You may have experienced a pay it forward moment. You ever been through the drive through and you've seen where like the person pays for their food and then they pay for the person behind them. And then the next person comes, finds out, and then they pay for the person behind them and so forth. It transforms a community. It transforms people in a moment in time. Is joy. And I don't care if joy is experienced through a free meal, a generous meal, or in a small way like that, or in a big way, it all matters. And as more and more people discover the joy of contributing to something greater than themselves, the bigger this whole thing becomes. The best part, the more you give, the more you'll find yourself surrounded by other abundant, generous people who are committed to creating a world that has plenty, just like you. Generosity is contagious. It's contagious. That's why that pay it forward example, it just keeps going and going because it's just contagious. It feels good. So it feels just as good to give as it does to receive. And if it doesn't, then probably let's check to see, are you giving things authentically? Are you giving from a place of authenticity? Or are you giving from a place where you are looking for something in return? When you give from a place of authenticity, excuse me, and it becomes contagious, it has the power to create, like I said earlier, a ripple effect of abundance that extends far beyond your own life. And isn't that amazing? Because We think every day that sometimes we think that we're not making an impact, but something as simple as giving Chick-fil-A meal or I don't know, a McDonald's meal can actually have an impact on someone's life. That impression may stay with them for the rest of their lives and they end up just doing it themselves. It could be while they're younger, while they're older, you just never know. So, as we wrap up this exploration of the first key practice for aligning your actions with abundance, I got to leave you with a challenge. So, this week, I want you to look for opportunities to give freely from a place of authenticity. Okay. Start small and be consistent. Trust that as you step into the flow of generosity, the universe will meet you with the flood of abundance. God will meet you with the flood of abundance beyond your wildest dreams. You don't have to look for the how or what it is. Just know that's going to happen. The video and actually, if you've enjoyed this video and actually want to know additional abundance practices that are really easy that you can take and experience a shift, let me know. Drop it in the comments below and I'll record a few more. If you want to go deeper into the principles and practices of effortless abundance, I'd love to invite you to join me in my upcoming Manifestation 365 program. This is an immersive 6-week live journey where we will dive into our Wealth Magnet Masterclass. It is designed to help you fully align your mindset, your actions, and your energy with the flow of plenty. How exciting is that? And when you do this, you can start manifesting your deepest desires with ease and grace. There's no better way. So, to learn more and enroll, simply just click the link in the description below. You can visit the website, inspirelife365.com/course and check it out. I can't wait to continue this journey with you. Thank you so much for allowing me to share space with you, allowing me to just talk to you for a moment. As always, I am inspired by you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. All right, bye.